Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. It's Tuesday Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers. So this is a great opportunity for us to get a bunch of people online. So if you can share this out, share it out to your favorite groups and do that, that would be awesome. We've got a great show coming up tonight. So let's go, everyone. Yeah. All right, we're ready for a good night tonight. It's Tuesday Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers. We have live questions and answers tonight. We're talking about Haplochromis. This is going to be a great show, everybody. Do us a favor. Go ahead and share this out right now. So while we're waiting to hit the 7 o'clock mark, go ahead and share this out to your favorite groups. If you're an admin or a group, make sure you contact us. We'd like to promote you. All right. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Tuesday Fish Talk Live. I'm Dave, and super glad to see we've already got a ton of people already on right now. That is super awesome. So I want to give a special shout out and welcome to all the Clubhouse members who have been making that group so awesome and great. So we're just about ready to hit 2,000. I want to welcome everyone else. This is Tuesday Fish Talk Live with Ron Demers, the multi-streaming show that is taking social media by storm. We're jacking up the fish keeping hobby, taking it to new levels, and we're just blowing up social media. So tonight we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. We're also on Periscope and on Twitch simultaneously. These streams can be found on those platforms just by searching for Ron Cichlids and Ron Demers, or Ron Demers by his name. When you find the show, will you do us a favor? Give us a like and a subscribe. Things have been growing. We've got about 52,000 views in the first 13 episodes. So just give us a subscribe and a like on our channels and help us grow this out and make this even bigger show than it already is. We appreciate all the subs you give us. Our mission is to create a live show experience, a gamified social media show for you, our viewers, and our Clubhouse group members. That's kind of what makes the Clubhouse really cool. We add new segments, we bring new sponsors, we have different prizes every week, and tonight we've got a ton of cool stuff for you. If you like talking shop, if you like checking out great fish and tanks, if you're looking to learn more about the hobby and speak to some experts and get some questions answered, this show is definitely for you. And if you want to be a part of a fast-growing, friendly community to make new friends, then you're absolutely in the right spot. My name is Dave Gould. Like I said, I'm the man in the control room. I'm also the director of the show, make all the graphics and the music and all that come in. And one of the coolest things about my job and what I get to do is I get to introduce to you our host. He is the aquarist, the absolutely amazing breeder of African Cichlids. He's also the fish food chef and the man behind the fish food that everyone's talking about. Also a dedicated father and husband and lover of cichlids. Here he is, Mr. Ron Demers. What's up, Ron?
Sup. Thank you, sir. It's going to be a great night. It's It's cold outside for most people, so you got nothing better to do than be in front of the computer and your phone and listen to me for another hour and a half.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, hey, we've got Kimberly Bosworth. I saw Roger Esparza. Hey, this is Roger. I'm speaking to you. Stay tuned all the way through the show. You're going to want to do that. JJ Castillo. We've got Paul Weiser on. What's up, Paul, with the New England Cichlid Association. Lori Venker, as always, and a special shout out to her husband. I always see them on the group together. My good friend, childhood friend, I can't tell you how much trouble we got into as kids, but Mr. Jeff Jadrich, I just want to give a shout out to San Jose, California. What are you looking at there, Ron?
I'm just imagine you being in trouble. Nah.
Yeah.
My boy Ron Blasing, Michael Anderson, Sandra, Charlie, Scott, Jeff. Jeff posted some beautiful fish today on forum. My buddy Jack Brand, he's had the luxury of coming here and handpicking some beauties. Nice to see all you guys. Really is. Every time I see your name, it just brings back memories.
Yeah. That's a message here from Tasha that they just had tacos and she's going to ship me one. Well, I had tacos tonight too, so it must be Taco Tuesday for everyone. We Cox and Doug Crawford, and Jack Brand is a Patriots fan. Well, we won't hold that against you, Jack. We love you. Glad you're here on the show. I'm just kidding. I don't have a favorite in football. You got a favorite in football right now, Ron? Like
I don't really care about football. I don't get chastised for that, but I watch the Super Bowl just to give me something to do for a few hours and eat food I shouldn't, but no.
Yeah, overeat and overdrink. This is a good excuse for it. All right, so let me, do I even have yes, I do have a flow document here. Let's look at what we've got going on. Hey, things have been going really well. I noticed that there was a hiccup with one of the prizes were sold out, and we saw that post that you got them an upgrade, so that was cool.
Yep.
Let's see. So so that's one thing I can do. So why don't we switch colors tonight? You want to go with the green and I'll go with the red, and that gives me a chance to do something here real quick.
Sure. I'd like to give out some mentions. Check out our new streaming page. We have a new chat bot. You can type in the word star info, INFO, and it'll, when he turns the chat pod on, it'll interact with you. It'll give you information that you're searching for. Turn on your Facebook Live notifications. That way you always know when we are going live. There is a new Facebook page called FishTalk Live. We've had it for about a month now. Please like that page. Also go full screen if you can to enjoy the whole viewing. Share and like the show to your personal page and groups.
Yeah. All right, so I do have the chat bot activated now. So that's Star Info. I think you can get it with Star Wind Rider. There's a lot of different things. It's really cool, and it's been working. And last week we surprised everybody with we had a special giveaway just for activating and participating with the chat bot, which went really cool. So yeah, that's your go-to place. It will also connect you to the show. We're hoping to have some live callers tonight. If we don't have any live callers, I guess this will be the last show that you see for Fish Talk Live. But it's actually Ron, it's one of my favorite aspects of the show is that call-in. So yeah, so hopefully that we'll get some people.
For any of you guys who are just kind of, shy, don't be. We've got some people that are shy, and then we got people that want to hear their voice on the radio. So if you got questions for me, or maybe you've known me for a year but you've never heard my voice, just call in, ask me, and I'll interact with you and answer your questions. I'm be happy for you guys to call in.
So speaking of questions, I'll jump through this part. If you have any questions or comments, if you have any ideas for shows, if there's something about the show that you would like to see happen, you can contact Ron through Ron Cichlids' Facebook page, and you can also contact Ron and myself through Fish Talk Live Facebook. That would be m.me/fishtalk.tv. I can say that one more time. m.me/fishtalk.tv. That will open up a chat and give messages straight there. Let's see. We are streaming on YouTube. A quick shout out to all of you that are watching on YouTube right now. The chat bot is for Facebook Live interaction. So I noticed with the YouTube guys, they're typing in stars info. And I apologize. It doesn't work with YouTube. So we do all of our drawings off of the Facebook Live and all that. Although YouTube has a better resolution. It looks better on YouTube. But anyway, that's how that works. Please subscribe. We're really trying to build this out, and we're about ready to do a big push for some things on the show. And so our numbers are important. You can see the wheel if you want to play with that. You go to roncichlids.com/wheel, and that gives you a little way to see what our wheel is all about. That's the spin to win wheel. And then you can also find all the shows there on roncichlids.com.
We have some new sponsors. You heard us mention them last week. Again this week. Wind Rider. They're getting ready to change their name.
They have changed their name. So we wanted to like help out the more you hear it. So whenever you hear Wind Rider Creations, think Acrylic Habitats by Steve Frosty. So Acrylic Habitats, they're really awesome people. I'll give a shout out to Cheyenne Frosty out there. I've been talking to her quite a bit about some things there. And of course we have Kevin Mills. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, Find Your Nemo. He is sponsor this month for t-shirts. You need to check him out. I mean, he's at the top of his game for custom designs for shirts. Anything you want on there. Any type of fish. Send him a picture of a fish, and he will recreate it. And amazing.
Yeah.
And then ADA Tank Supply.
Yeah, we have them on the wheel tonight.
Amazing rocks.
Yeah,
and I've got some of my tank behind me, and I'm seeing more and more people giving them some shout outs. So
and that,
great guys.
I just talked. So that's James Smith and Jeffrey Kirk, and they're out in Springfield, Missouri. Awesome guys. And I was talking to Jeffrey a little bit today. He's got a whole shipment of Holy Rock. So they're expanding on that line.
They're probably all huddled up. It's cold up there right now.
Yeah. So as you all know, Ron Demers' official Facebook groups include the Clubhouse, the Mbuna Hangout, Lake Tanganyika Clubhouse, Ron Demers, Aqua DIY, cool group. Really awesome group is the Amazing Tank Showcase, which is like pictures of the best tanks you could possibly find. We have a new group called the Aquarius Marketplace for buying and selling. If you're a breeder or if you have anything for sale or you want to promote something, go to that group. There's really no limits. We do check for scammers and spammers, but as far as that goes, there's no real rules. There's no posting Fridays and all that kind of stuff. So if you want a group shout out, share the show in your group and then message us on Fish Talk Live page or the Ron Cichlids page and mention that. And why don't you talk about what, like, some of the
I want to
helping people out. Yeah, go ahead.
Group shout outs. So, we have some groups that we want to mention. And like Dave said, if you guys want mentioned on the show, then message us and then we'll add you to the list. I'd like to give a shout out to New England Cichlid Association, Paul Weiser. He's on right now. One of the nicest guys you'll meet. Frontosa Lovers, Scott DeFore. Southeast Fish Addicts, one of my moderators, TJ Huffstetter. West Coast Cichlid Exchange, Isaac Garcia, another mod. Crown Royalty Cichlids, Nathan Pate, one of the mods. Big shout out to Cichlid Madness, GG. GG.
I've been talking to Gigi this week. He's up in his game. He's got some cool stuff going on there.
He is. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Ohio Fish Rescue, big Rich Bryce. Wisconsin Lakeshore African Cichlid Hub, Jason Hansen.
Yeah.
And then the
So we want to do this again for Paul Weiser. So in July, right, the American Cichlid Association is having their convention. It's going to be in Cromwell, Connecticut on July 18th through the 22nd. So that's like the national organization, the American Cichlid Associations, and it's being sponsored or hosted by, I think I got this correctly, by the New England Cichlid Association. That's Paul Weiser. There's about 200 members nationwide in the New England Cichlid Association. They've got several guest speakers, doctor with high degrees and all that, Larry Johnson. It's a 4,000 square foot vendor room. It's like one of the cool places to be if you're in the Northeast up there near Connecticut. So just wanted to shout that out. Here's your turn on notifications. I've shown this in almost every show. So while you're watching the show right here, up in the corner right is a bell. If you turn that on, you'll get a message. Okay, so one of the other ways you can do that as well that would really get some people involved is like the page. We really need the likes. So let's push it hard. So it doesn't take much, just a 2-second thing. Go to FishTalk Live, the page, and like it, please. Let's get this numbers. So we've got like 4,000 people we put in front of on Ron Cichlid's page. Now we're up to about 500, but I'd like to see that grow into about 2,000 if we could in the next few weeks. And there's definitely enough viewers for that. So, let's see if we can do that. Admin share group mentions next show. I think we covered that. Go full screen. Yep. So I put a lot of time into really cool videos and graphics and things like that. And here is one of them. This is a really cool shout out to all of you. Nathan Pate made the post, like, let's see the fish keeper behind the posts and messages. Well, here it is here.
I'm running out of time. Every day goes by so fast, and every moment counts, baby. I don't want to miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
Yeah, so big shout out to all of you who put your pictures out on the post. This is what the coolest members of Ron's Demers Cichlid Clubhouse. So these are member pictures that they uploaded. And we just want to say thank you for doing that. It's good to see all these guys in one place, huh, Ron?
Yes, absolutely. It's you always see people's names and you don't put a face to their name, and then now you can.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Catlin, Sargento.
Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby.
Spent a lot of time editing this earlier today. I was like, man, there's a great diversity with our members in that group. There's Kevin Campbell. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so a special shout out to all the club members. Like I said, we're gonna have 2,000 by Friday. We're at 19 something, Ron. So
yeah, 1985, I think it is. I mean, 15 more, and we hit our 2,000.
Awesome. So tonight we are finishing up a series that we've been doing about Lake Malawi. We started with
Mbuna.
we started with Larry Johnson talking about the lake. Then we went and transitioned into talked about Mbuna, and then last week was peacocks. Today we're going to have a wonderful teaching session here with Ron about Haplochromis. Oh, well, that's obviously a hap, but that's not what I was going to play you. So here it comes. All right, Ron, it's all up to you, bro.
All right, guys. It's going to be a little bit of a long show. I have a deep passion for haps. I'm going to be talking about them probably a little more than the other species, and I knew you guys would probably want to hear it. So here we go. We're going to discuss Haplochromis. These are some of the most spectacular species from Lake Malawi and truly my favorites. We're going to discuss the biology and the habitat, also discuss the species dynamics and behavior, and then wrap it up with proper care and tank space. Haplochromis are the largest genus of cichlids that can be found in Lake Malawi. They also exist in Lake Victoria as well, and maybe in a future show. Many of these species that were once categorized in the genus have since been recategorized. The name hap is still used as a general term for any of the non-Mbuna cichlids from the African Rift Valley, meaning, as we discussed before, peacocks are also considered haps, but they're Haplochromis. For this show, we are talking about the Haplochromis or haps of that genus. There's approximately 230 species in Lake Malawi, and there's many more than that in the aquarium hobby. These cichlids are well known to be moderately aggressive and somewhat territorial, depending on their size in the tank and males and females. They exhibit a wide variety of colorations and patterns. This is why I love them so much. They have a combination of bright colors and stripes and barring, just makes them a truly beautiful species. And a lot of your peacocks basically are just, the sides are one color. Sometimes you'll have faint stripes. These guys, you're going to get all sorts of patterns in them. They exist in several different biotypes, habitats in Lake Malawi. They inhabit both sandy areas, rock reefs, and open water.
So, what I was hoping, what not hoping, but what I was really looking forward to when I heard the conversation is, these guys are really, really diverse for one, and then the coloration, just the big boy aspect of it, and predator and all that nation. So, that's good. So, tell me a little bit more about their habitats, like in the nature and all that, Ron.
So, these fish inhabit several different biotypes within the lake. There are some species that live around the rock reefs and on the sand near these reefs, very similar to the peacocks that we discussed last week. There's also some species that prefer open water, that just hang around open water and sandy bottoms, kind of like pelagic species in the ocean. They just swim around. They live in these biotypes mainly because this is where their food lives. That's the main reason why they live there. These type of fish don't really need the cover, the hiding places that Mbuna or even sometimes peacocks or other smaller species need. So these guys are typically seen more out in the open. Some of the species of open water haps can be seen in schools. They literally go across the lake in schools. I've shown a video before of some of my haps, my Hawkliceps, and they're still to this day. It's neat. All 11 or 12 of them will swim one way and the other way. They all go together. There's never one goes off by himself. So some of those bigger open water species, you'll see them in large schools in their native habitat. For haps, you've got friar eye, you've got red empresses, venustus, Malawi hawks, Haplochromis, Taiwan reefs, Pombo rocks, BC10s, all of those guys. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And then right behind me, yellow blaze lithobates. Yeah, I wrote some down. So this is why myself and a lot of other people, and ladies, don't take this the wrong way, but these fish are guys fish. This is what we've been talking about for years and years. It's just something about them. They're big. They tend to be somewhat more aggressive. They eat bigger chunks of food. They're just big boys. The male haps exhibit a wide variety of colorations and patterns. You can range from solid blue, like the Azores, to multicolored combinations of red, orange, yellow, purple, and even green. So like your red empress, you can get red, blue, some green, sometimes even yellow in one fish. They've got these really cool markings and patterns on them, which really sets them aside from other species and peacocks. But please understand that some of these fish, especially the predator haps, are going to get big. These guys could potentially reach 12 to 15 inches. And also realize that a lot of these predator haps aren't going to begin to show you any color until at least 5 inches, usually 7. Your Malawi hawks, your Malawi trouts, your Haplochromis, species like that. I get asked all the time, hey, Ron, I've got a 6-inch buco and it's not showing much color, or I've got a 5-inch hawk that isn't showing any color. It will. You got to give it time. They have to get out of that subdominant role. And like we spoke about last week with the peacocks, the females of these species are typically bland in color. They don't have much going on. But with haps, there's one key difference: is most of the haps, the females will have very unique markings or patterns that is indicative of their species. So you look at a female Taiwan reef and you see it and you know it's a Taiwan reef, even though it's just a silverish gray fish. Same thing with a red empress. It's got and a Malawi hawk. A lot of the females have the same exact markings as the male, and they don't look all the same. As we spoke, these guys can be moderately aggressive and can be territorial, especially the males, especially in a breeding situation where you guys have seen where one fish is over in one side of the tank and the other 99 are in the other side of the tank. Usually it's showing dominance, as we've spoke about other species. Most haps, regardless of the species, are going to get an average of 6 inches up to 12 inches. Some even larger than that, depending on the species, especially your predator haps. Some may never exceed 7 inches. Typically, like your Taiwan reefs really aren't going to get bigger than 7 inches. Your J-Lo reefs, most of your Haplochromis are going to top out right around 7 inches. But your predator haps, and these guys are going to get big. depending on the species we're talking about, you're looking at 10 to 12 inches, sometimes 15 inches for your hawks and your Buccochromis and your trouts. So please make sure that you take that into account when choosing species and your tank. So if you're getting ready to go start an African cichlid tank, try to figure out what you're going to put in there before you buy the tank, because push comes to shove, you're going to end up needing a bigger tank someday. These fish need a larger aquarium. They're not like the small rock dwelling Mabuna, so they need more open space and they need swimming length. Average lifespan is similar to peacocks. It's between 5 and 8 years, depending on the size of the tank they're in, their diet, their tank mates, their environment, and how they're cared for. But you can expect at least 5 years out of most of these. So another part of this that's really special to me, that's the interesting part for the show, is there is another genus of haps within the Haplochromis. It's a very small genus. It's called African Cichlids. These are one of my most favorite, and you'll know why in a minute. These fish are from the genre Haplochromis, Nimbochromis, and Protomelius. And for those three names, if anybody, those names ring a bell in your head, you'll know why. So
yeah, throw out some common names with those ones.
So most people in the hobby, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So most people in the hobby classify them as haps due to their appearance, their markings, their behavior, and their diet. When you first look at them, they look different than a predator hap, but they are haps. So some of the most popular of these species that you may be familiar with is Red Empress. Red Empress is from the Protomelius genus, probably one of the most popular African cichlid haps that there are. Two of my very favorite ones are the beautiful metallic blue Azurus and amazing redfin Borlai. Those two come from the genus Haplochromis. A lot of species within Haplochromis as well. And this is realistically, if people want to know my all-time favorite, Haplochromis would be my all-time favorite. I absolutely love the diversity within that genus, the intense colors, especially during breeding dress. I've got a breeding group right now of Haplochromis Azurus, and at 4¼ inches, he is absolutely 150% breathtaking. The most common and striking fish, every pet store has got them, everybody loves them, is the Venustus. The Venustus, aptly named the giraffe cichlid, has a blue face, that yellowish green body, and those big greenish yellow splotches on the side. Beautiful fish. They come from the Nimbochromis family. The Nimbochromis family is a very small family. Off the top of my head, I should be able to name them all. I'm pretty good at this. You've got the Venustus, you've got the Livingstoni, you've got the Polystigma, you've got the Linni, and you've got the Fuscantanianus. Those are the 5 that I know of. If I missed one, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure I nailed it. They're one of my most favorite as well.
So we're going to be looking at a bunch of pictures of haps like we have in the last couple of shows and all of that. But before we get there, we had a lot of questions about predator haps. Can you tell us a little bit about the predator haps, and then also the diet that these fish require?
So predator haps are big boys. They basically live around these rock reefs, and they are hunting. That's all they do, is they hunt. So in the home aquarium, you're going to need to feed them a higher protein diet. So this, what I'm getting ready to talk about, you may hear me say again when we get to that partner diet. But these large predatory haps are typically not going to color up until they're bigger, 6, 7 inches. You have to be patient with them. Sometimes they're a little shy when they get in there. Sometimes they're bulldozers and they beat the hell out of everybody. You just never know. You may have them for 6 or 7 months and never show any color. So people always ask me, how do you know it's a male? How do you know it's a female? So generically, you kind of have to have an eye for it. You have to look at the fish. You got to be able to identify its behavior. You can also use hints of color. For me, it's the face, the lips. It's also the fins, the shape of the fins, if the fish is big enough. If the fish is big enough, you can vent the fish. For those of you who may or may not know about venting, when you flip the fish upside down and the head is facing you, there should be 2 holes. One hole is on a male, both holes are the same size. They should be almost invisible. If it's a female, the second hole, the one that's farthest away from you, closest to the anal fin, will be larger. But in theory, you can't truly vent a fish until it's either appropriately large enough or it's been bred once to know whether or not you have a male or female. So I use the clues from like the lips and the face and the fins, behavior with other fish, and that lets me know without a shadow of a doubt if it's male or female.
So on these larger predator haps, so like, why would people want them in their tank? And it's true that these sometimes they don't get their predatory nature until they're much bigger too. So like you someone might bring in a rostratus or Malawi hawk into a small, more juvie centered tank, and then later on, have a lot of problems.
I mean, there's different ways of classifying it as a predator hap. Like a rostratus. It is a predator hap, but I really wouldn't consider it a predator hap. The rostratus is called the sand diver for a reason. And when you watch them feed in nature and in the home aquarium, they basically just bulldoze their face into the sand to eat. The reason why people like haps is they're just big, they're beautiful fish. The colors are amazing. The patterns are really what they got going on for them. And a lot of us like to watch them grow. It's like watching your puppy become an adult, or your child, 18, and you kick them out. You like to watch them grow. They've got a behavior about them that's different, and basically more like that's why I said they're a guy's fish. They don't take no shit. Sorry my language, but that's the reality. These guys are relatively tough fish, and got to remember that with these predator haps, their predatory nature isn't always going to come out in the home aquarium. It just depends on where the source of the fish came from. If it's a wild caught fish, then yeah, you need to keep an eye on your little fish, your plecos, your clown loaches, anything that's small that can fit in their mouth. My wild caught fish would literally just hover and they would hunt. And then something that's very neat is while we're on the subject is Haplochromis livingstoni. When they're in nature, they actually lay on their side and they play dead. And they look dead, and then the fish come up to them to say, "Oh, what's going on with this one?" And it wakes up and eats them. You may see that in your home aquarium where you have a livingstoni and it's laying down. But most of the fish that we have these days are line bred fish, meaning they've been bred here in captivity and are used to a diet of commercial pellets or flakes or other prepared foods. So they're not necessarily predatory instinct. But when we go into the diets, I'll name some things that you can feed them to better cater to those larger fish.
Yeah. So for the most part, needing more protein, tell us about the diet more specifically about with haps, and we can finish rounding that out.
So understand that most of these species in the wild are predators of some type. They hunt small fish, crustaceans, invertebrates. usually in and around the sand and rock reefs. So in the home aquarium, Haps should be fed a higher protein diet of sinking pellets, as well as frozen foods, which is key with these guys to give them that bulkier, more protein. Some good examples would be Mises shrimp, like the jumbo size. Fish absolutely love Mises shrimp, guys. If you take anything from any of this part of the show, remember one thing. If you've ever got a fish being stubborn and doesn't want to eat, go buy some frozen Mises shrimp, MYSIS. If they don't eat that, there's something wrong with them. It's got a real high fat content, just something about it they can't resist. Krill. Whole krill is a really good supplement protein for them. Also, ghost shrimp. You can buy ghost shrimp. You can also buy them live. And if you put live ghost shrimp in there, they will chase them down and eat them. Also, something you can buy is called silver sides. It's a long, skinny minnow that's caught in the ocean. That is, you can buy it in flat packs and thaw it out. I prefer frozen foods. These larger predatory haps will also readily take cut up pieces of shrimp, the same shrimp that you would buy from the store to eat, as well as fish. So if you're getting ready to cook fish for dinner, when we cook fish or we cook shrimp, I cut off a few extra little pieces while it's still raw, and I put it aside for those guys as a treat. Also, I give them a little bit of lobster. We catch our own lobster, so little pieces of that I don't want to eat, I cut it up and give it to them. They love it. Try to avoid. I know I just said live ghost shrimp, but try to avoid live feeder fish. Several reasons. One, you don't really want to teach your fish to eat these because they're going to look at their tank mates potentially as food, and their eyes are bigger than their stomach. Another reason why you want to avoid live feeder fish is they oftentimes carry a bacteria or a disease if you purchase them from a local fish store. They're usually kept in an environment where they're overcrowded and underfilled, and bringing those home to feed your fish could infect your tank. Something else that's very important is remember that in nature, these fish prey upon other fish. So whatever their prey eats in their diet, those nutrients gets passed along to that larger hap. So with that, remember that even though these are predator haps and just eat protein, remember they need veggies in their diet. That's the reason why we want to feed them a well-rounded pellet diet that does have veggies in it. Just because they don't eat it in nature, they get it through the fish that they eat. So I feed my haps and peacocks the same food. Same food you guys get when you buy it from me is the exact food, no ingredient different, that I feed my guys. And the only thing I do different with some of my bigger haps is I've got a spare freezer that's full of krill, Mises, brine, and jumbo Mises. They do enjoy larger meals.
Just reading up on a few things there. Man, there's a lot of information there. It's really, really good. One of the things that I was reading just here, I was looking at some of the questions. Talk about the growth rate. I know you mentioned it a little bit, but I know that a lot of aquarists get, especially the newbies, they want that really colorful fish. They get them at 3-4 inches, and it's not quite there. So I know some
there's
take longer.
A lot of different variables for the different species. So a fish like a redfin bourlai grows pretty quick. A fish like a star sapphire, Phenachillis, will grow slow. A morai, a dolphin, we call them, they grow slow when they're small. They grow faster when they're bigger. Probably some of the most slowest growing fish that I know of are like Malawi gar or Haplochromis anagens. They just grow slow. Most haps, especially from the Utaka group that we were talking about, Protomelius, Haplochromis, Nimbochromis, they grow quick. Some of them will start showing color at 2.5, 3 inches. Some of them won't show color until they're 6 or 7 inches. Um, like I said, it just depends on their tank mates and the species. A Malawi gar may not show you any color until 6 or 7 inches. Malawi hawk may show you color at 5, or it may be 7 or 8. One of the hardest to sex for most people is a Malawi trout. They're long, cylindrical, silver. I had somebody ask earlier, how do you sex one? Well, it needs to be at least 4 inches for one. Second thing is yes, you can vent them, but it's never a guarantee. You need to have good lighting. You need to have great eyesight or a magnifying glass, and you need to observe the fish. You need to see how they're acting. They'll usually set up a little territory. You got to look at, like I said before, look at their lips, look at their face, look at their fins, and be patient on predator haps. Most other species, I would say probably 80 to 85% of the hap species grow fast. I mean, literally one day they're 2.5 inches, and a couple months later you're like, crap, it's 4 inches. I personally can take a 2 inch hap and get them to the 4 inch size that I sell as larges. I can do it in 2 months with my food and my water changes and my regiment.
Yeah. So, awesome. Anything else you want to add on this, or should we just go straight to some pictures, or what do you want to do, Ron?
Let's see some pictures, and then I'll dive into how to care for these big gentle giants or monsters.
Okay. Let's see here.
Haplochromis azuris. I absolutely love these guys. You will not find a more intense blue on these fish, especially when they're breeding. Just my first fish I ever bred. This is a deep water hat, Placidochromis. These guys don't get much bigger than about 8-9 inches, but absolutely beautiful with the teals and the blues. They look very similar to a Phenachillus, same species, but Placidochromis. This is a Chilotilapia uchillis, Malawi thick lips. This is from JJ Castillo. This is a fish that you don't see much in the hobby. They look very similar to a red empress, except their fins are different. And as they mature, they get those big old Angelina Jolie lips on them, and they're just beautiful fish. One of my favorites. This is a Demitochromis compressiceps, aka Malawi eye biter. Don't let the name fool you. These guys really do not go after the fish's eyes. These fish are very, very unique. Most people want something a little different than the normal fish. These guys fit the bill exactly. They're long and skinny, very compressed body. Their snout and their head take up well over a third of their body. They just get truly amazing as they mature. This is another fish that may not show you an inch of color until 6 or 7 inches. They average about 10, 12 inches, and they come in several different colors. This is a fireline melodo. This is a Haplochromis species. These guys rarely exceed 5.5, 6 inches. Beautiful fish. This is the Cynochromis friar eye. The hobby has nicknamed them Electric Blue Ali. I know someone's going to chastise me for calling it that. I don't care. The hobby calls them Electric Blue Ali. It is not an Ali. It is a friar eye, otherwise known as electric blue hap, and probably the most common fish that you'll find at any pet store, Walmart, any place that sells fish. This is a kind of rare fish. This is a Teleolethornops percata. I can never pronounce it completely correct, but these guys are amazing. You have to be patient. It takes about 3 years to mature, but once they are, the fins on them rival nothing else in the aquarium trade except for betas. Their fins will go past their caudal fin. They're amazing.
Hey, so give us the common names as well, when you can. Like, does this?
That one doesn't have a common name that I know of. This is a Nimbochromis fuscantaniatus. We call them fuscos. It's one of the fish in my banner. They are beautiful fish, and another one of those that won't show you any color until maybe 5-6 inches, and it'll start to get a little blue. And then before you know, that blue will move from their head and go all through their body. Sometimes when they're really, really fired up, they'll lose that pattern that you see on the side of them altogether. They won't even have it.
Awesome.
Malawi hawk, one of my favorites. This is one of my males that was one of my breeder males. These guys are gonna get big. This guy was one of two that were 12 inches long. They're gonna get blue and green. They're gonna get some yellow on them. They're gonna get the red anal fins. But be patient on these guys. They have a compressed body as well, but they have a hump on their nose. This is a herte. This is a hap that's not. It's not rare, but it's not commonly seen because they do grow a little on the slow side. A beautiful fish. They'll be bright blue from their nose to their dorsal, and then the yellow underneath kind of flow up into the body. Nice long fins, but you got to be patient on them. They may not even show you color until 6 or 7 inches. Insignis. This is from the Protomelius as well. Beautiful fish. I wish I can keep them in stock.
So this one's kind of like a Taiwan, right?
Yeah, it's a Protomelius,
Yeah.
which a Taiwan reef is a Protomelius as well. So there's quite a few fish in the Protomelius family that all have the same body shape, very similar sometimes markings.
So what's the difference between like the Stevani and this one here that we're looking at?
Well, the Steve and I and this one are different collection. Different. The pattern will be different. The dorsal fin will be different. Colors in the caudal fin will be different. It's subtle differences. Insignis is known for, I think they've renamed him to Tanzania. They keep renaming fish so much, I can't keep up with it anymore. I just call them what I'm used to. The Insignis is basically yellow and then blue on the top. That's a fish that one day doesn't have much color, and the next day, boom, you come home from work and you're like, holy crap, he's nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
This is an ivory head Melodo. Just like the fire lines, they're very, very similar, just slightly different. Dark fish with a bright iceberg type blaze across the top. That's one of JJ's fish. Placidochromis johnstonii. These guys are a little more elongated, long, beautiful fins. Takes a while for them to mature and get color. Once they do, it'll be a centerpiece for your aquarium. There's not a whole lot of people that have the patience, and once they do get that beautiful, and this is one of the fish that I've sold, I've had here, amazing fins, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, these are some of the Kevin Campbell ones I threw in there. Just
Haplochromis rostratus, aka sand diver.
here's another one.
That's a Placidochromis deep water, Placidochromis electra deep water hap, we call them. They get a bright blue teal face, absolutely breathtaking. That one's got a little more yellow than I'm used to seeing, but just a beautiful, beautiful fish. That's a johnstonii as well.
That's Kevin's too. Let's see. That's another Kevin picture. I just thought this. I think it's Morai. Yeah, but great looking look on his face. Like
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to Kevin. Maybe that can be.
That face is like the the ventriloquist guy who's what's his name? Who has the little skeleton? I'll kill you.
Yeah.
That guy. Walter. That his mannequin. The dummy.
That's Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. But it looks like Walter's face. Always that grumpy look.
we need to ask Kevin if we can use this in a Ron Cichlids food commercial, because I got perfect little captions on that. Anyway,
why you feed me that stuff?
This
is another picture of a rostratus as they mature. Yellow blaze lithobates, autox lithobates. The hobby has a lot of nicknames for them. Yellow blaze, sulfur heads. They're not really a sulfur head. There's several other species that are considered a sulfur head, but this is a yellow blaze, or you'll hear a Zimbabwe rocks or Z rocks. It's collected from Zimbabwe rocks. There's also a line bred version that I keep that is that has a lot more yellow in them.
There's that other same
That's
same
another
fish.
picture of a morai. Venustus, the Haplochromis that we were speaking of, probably one of the most, if not the most common hap there are. Different strains have blue from their nose all the way through their body. I have one right now that TJ is going to get that has blue from his head to his tail. It's amazing fish. Placidochromis JLo Reef. No nickname for this as far as I know. These guys don't get much bigger than about 6 inches. Truly amazing fish. They look very, very much like the Placidochromis Electra deepwater haps, but the deepwater has a little slightly more rounded head than these guys. Beautiful yellow bars, and they've got a black band that goes through their eye. The males are absolutely gorgeous when they're fired up.
JLo Reef, you said?
JLo Reef.
Yeah.
This is a Pombo Rocks yellow chin. It's a protomelius. It's a collection point. They call them Pombo Rocks. Sometimes you can call them a Stephen I Imperial as well, even though they're subtly different. They get confused a lot.
Yeah, I've got one of those. It's really starting to color up really good now.
They're late bloomers, but when they
Yeah.
do color and those fins come in, they're amazing.
Yeah.
This is a red empress, Protomelialis. These here that have a lot more red on them, sometimes called super red empress or fire haps. Fire hap is a line bred version that is bred for more red. Beautiful fish. Redfin Borlai, one of my all-time favorites. This is from the Coppodochromis family. This is a redfin Candango. It's collected from Candango Island. There's also a Mabenji. There's 2 versions as far as I know, and the other one, as these guys are juveniles, they'll have some spots on them, but as they mature, they'll lose them. Once again, this is a Phosochromis rostratus, aka Malawi sandiver. These guys get striking as they mature, sometimes almost all black, and that green is real, people. That's not Photoshop. That green is real. The fish look like the most expensive custom sequin dress you can imagine. And they get about 10, 12 inches long.
How long?
My history with them is they're relatively passive fish. They really don't go out of their way to mess with anybody.
Yeah. How long do they take to start their color process?
Well, in a species only with plenty of females, I've seen 4.5, 5 males starting to color, but in all reality, it's typically over 6 before you're going to start seeing it. I've got a lot of reports of people have them. They get 7, 8 inches. Sometimes they can be stubborn eaters, and then all of a sudden, one day, boom, the color starts coming, and you may have the fish 6, 8 months before it really starts to show off.
It's one of my favorites right here.
Absolutely. This is Placidochromis phenicilis, Tanzanius. It's also known as a star sapphire. As they mature, they start getting these chips. These chips of color that you see are individual scales that color. So you'll get a one scale that colors a very light, high intense blue. Then you'll get another one. This is something we look forward to in the transition. At 3.5, 4 inches, they typically have no chips. They're just going to be a bright blue, beautiful fish. And then all of a sudden, boom, you have a chip, and then you have another one. These guys grow slow. You won't even have one fully mature until he's at least 3 years old. So you have to have patience with those.
Yeah. So awesome talk. That rounds out this kind of Lake Malawi. We got a phone caller coming in. If you call in and we're in the middle of something, you'll be in waiting, but you don't have to hang up. We'll get to you. Let's go ahead and take a break. What we want to do is we want to see if we can answer some questions live off the chat. And there's some questions from the clubhouse that I'll ask of you. And while we do that, we're going to get a little information about our sponsors and all that. Let me give the call-in graphic. Let me let this run for a minute. If you want to call in tonight for the questions and answers, please do so. Here's the information. Okay, so you're invited to call in. First thing I wanted to talk about was, let's go here. Hold on. Something's going crazy in my head right now, so hold on. I can't figure out what's going on here. Okay, it shut off. That was crazy. All right, so Windrider Creations, we've been saying, is turned into acrylic habitats. And they saw the show and really liked what we were doing and have given us a $500 freshwater wet dry vac, just that you're seeing here, filter, excuse me, vac, filter. And we're going to talk a little bit about this after the break about how we're going to go about doing this, but we're going to be raffling this off for really cheap and giving away a bunch of tickets. But they've got a new website coming up. So we just want to give them a shout out. Go to their Facebook page, give them a like, say, hey man, we appreciate, you guys helping with the show and all that. So we saw the call-in graphic. We'll be right back after this break and answer some questions.
Hey guys, I'm Andrew. I've been using Ron's food now. I got the adult and the juvenile. I've been using it for a while. My fish love it. As you can see, the color is amazing on my fish. I try to watch and talk Tuesday every chance I get. I love it. Very good informational. Ron's a great guy. Anytime I got a question, I message him. He messages me back as soon as he gets a chance.
Coming up next. All right, so we're back and we get to go ahead and ask some questions. We've got 2 callers on the line. We're monitoring the chat right now for questions. So if you have any questions about the Haplochromis that Ron was telling us about, go ahead and light that up and ask your questions. I'm going to go ahead and take the first caller here. I've got to unmute you. All right, you're unmuted, caller. What's your name?
Hey, it's Ivan Murphy. How are you?
What's up, Ivan?
Hey, Ivan, what's up, bro?
Hey, man, I got a quick question for you about the food and feeding Haps. And I guess this is more just for my knowledge. So I'm sure you're aware that I'm fond of the earthworms, right?
Yes, sir.
So you and I have had several conversations in the past where I don't believe half the things I've read on the internet. So I figured this is a good time to ask you. But I read that a lot of the times whenever you freeze fresh food or fresh fish or shrimp or earthworms, whatever it is, it kills the parasites. Is that true?
It just depends on the bacteria, parasite, the pathogen. As you well know, there are some that can withstand boiling water. There's some that can withstand chlorine, and there's some that can withstand freezing. So I would agree with you that yes, under probably 99% of the circumstances, yes, that potentially would kill it.
So would you recommend to freeze earthworms, or are they not like a high risk food?
Believe it or not, the earthworm is one of the cleanest animals on the face of this planet. I know they live in the dirt and they look like nasty, but they are by far the most cleanest, sterile creature. They don't get diseases. They look it up. It's there's a reason why I like to use earthworms. You can just pluck them out of the ground and rinse them off and feed them if you want, or like we've mentioned before, if you want to purge them, you can put them in water for a couple hours and submerge them, and they'll just poop their brains out, and they will purge themselves, and then you can feed them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how you been doing, Ivan? How's things going in your world?
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're great. I've been watching the show, and I have a chair that I have in front of my 125, and my wife's sitting in the other bedroom, and she's watching TV, and I'm watching fish.
Nice. Are you staying warm?
I've got one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
What's that?
Oh, go ahead if you got a question.
So, Ron, you mentioned that you feed your fish your excess fish that you catch out of the ocean or out of the lake or the pond, right? So I do a lot of fishing myself, between brim fishing or catfish or bass or whatever. Are any of those fish, should they be off limits due to parasites or any kind of bacteria?
It's probably a good rule of thumb if you're going to take fresh fish. I like fresh fish to eat, but at the same time, almost all of my fish that I personally eat and my wild game that I hunt and eat, I freeze it first.
Okay.
I'm old school, so the stuff that I'm cooking for dinner has been frozen and thawed out, so that pathogen could have realistically been killed already.
Cool.
I've fed like live ghost shrimp that I've caught out of my lake, where I live on a lake, guys. So I've caught live ghost shrimp, which are called grass shrimp. And grass shrimp are also one of those very, very, very clean species. Or I'll just keep them in an aquarium for a few days and purge them. But I probably wouldn't be them fresh fish. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but err on the side of caution.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
Thanks a lot for calling in tonight, Ivan.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
Good talking to you, brother. Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
So we have another caller on the line, but let me go ahead and grab a couple of questions that I saw here. Where'd that go? Nice. Oh, I lost that. Let's go ahead and, unless you can see some of the questions, Ron, I just can't have that in front of me. It bogs my computer down.
I'm not seeing any questions that people have asked on the live chat.
Okay.
Not seeing questions, comments, chit chat.
Yeah. There was some questions that I had here from the clubhouse, but I can't seem to find it, or I'm lost in something here.
I had a few of them. I think I touched on most of the predator one that they were asking about.
Yeah. Defines and special subgroups. How do they come up when they're deciding subspecies? Yeah, so let's go ahead and bring on our other caller. What's up, caller? So we got you live on Fish Talk Live. Who is this?
Hey, Dave. It's Charlie Vilanowski. How are you?
What's going on, Charlie?
Charlie, how are you?
Things are good. Hey, Ron, what's up?
Buddy, make it back
Long
home.
time, right? What's that? Yeah. Preparing for a little snow coming tomorrow. But yeah, I was down around you about 3 weeks ago. I had a great time. You showed me around. I really appreciate checking out your business, and definitely going to be getting fish from you when I get down there.
That was great meeting you, my friend.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I actually, funny, I was at a place in New Jersey a couple days ago called the Fish Shot. It was like a supermarket for African cichlids, and I couldn't resist.
That's awesome.
So I picked up an OB Compressisops and an albino Kobu Regal. I think that's what it was. So
Nice.
both of them look really good. So I quarantined them for a few days, and I threw them in today. But yeah, I just had a question for you guys, just in general. Like, who's responsible for naming and classifying African cichlids?
That's a good question. I think they've got a committee. It may still be part of who
Koenig.
discovers it. Larry Johnson could probably answer that question way better than
I
I
think
am.
I read somewhere about Koenig Foundation or something like this.
Yeah, it
Does
may
that
be
ring a
Ad
bell?
Coning. I know the what is the one Larry mentioned the other day? The Stewart Grant Foundation.
Yeah.
I think all of those people have their hand in it. If you find something that that hasn't been discovered before, you can put your name on it. I don't know who's in charge of reclassifying, but I'd like to find them and give them a good shaking, as in why they got to keep changing the names. But
Sure.
Yeah. So how's the weather there where you're at, Charlie?
It's a little chilly.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some snow tomorrow. It's been a light kind of snow season so far. We really get hit like around February
Yeah.
time frame. So yeah, I'm looking to be down in Florida by the end of April. Get out of this the white nonsense and the bone chill up here.
Yeah.
I got about 85 fish. I'm going to try to bring about 55 with me. I got about 30 yellow lab juvies that I'm going to just drop off to the local fish store. So
Nice.
yeah, Ron said he's gonna help me out, and walk me through the process. So Ron, you're a great guy. I really appreciate it.
thank you, Charlie. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks for calling in,
Hey, thank
Charlie.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
stay
first
on the
time,
show.
thanks.
We're going to give away some fish. So apparently we've got 100 people that have come, and that means that we bypass the spin to win wheel. So let me tell you guys how it works. We've got this spin to win wheel. We've talked about it a little bit, and it's got a bunch of prizes on it. And there is one large fish, and there's usually one grand prize, and you can have your choice on that. Apologize, I backed off my microphone for a second. Anyway, so when we hit 100 people, and we've done that, in our operating instructions, what we've said is that as soon as we hit 100 4 weeks in a row, then we're going to boost that up to 250 to see if we can get 250 people on. And I think this would be the second week in a row on that. So let me go ahead, and if there's no other questions, you didn't see anything, Ron? Am I good? Or
Yeah, I haven't gotten any updates.
let's go ahead and check out the member of the week video. I put this together. I put 4 people on this time. If you want to comment on it, it's just this is a good video right here. Can you see it?
This is from Rob Kinsey. Got some beautiful fish in there. He's got some. Everybody's running around. You got a fryer eye.
I like how he puts the wood in there. It looks really nice. And then I got to point out that those rocks are from our sponsor, ADA Tank Supply. Rob had won, and those are the rocks that he actually won on the show. So
it's like the black Cerejo rock.
Yeah. So this is Brett Flavin's. I apologize. I meant to give you the species particular for that.
That's an Haplochromis anagens.
Yeah.
That's a Demers strigatus. It looks like.
Yeah, that's also
looks very
Brett's.
similar to Compressiceps, but a few subtle differences.
Yeah, these guys have some great tanks. This is Roger Esparza's.
Yeah, that's a real pretty tank too. I like the background and I like the just nice clean water. The fish look amazing.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of everything in there.
I like that little OB in the corner by the filter. He's just chilling. He's like, it's safe over here.
I see Uchillis in there. I see Star Sapphire, VC10s. And looks like the Pumbo Rocks or Stephen Eyes or Rostratus in there.
And this is Scott McBride.
I know Scott. He's a very good customer of mine. He's got quite a few of those in there from mine. Got Dolphin and Phenachillus and a Buccochromis and OB Comp and Haplochromis anaphyramis in there and some OBs and Red Empress. Beautiful.
Thanks, Ron Cichlids, for the Seachem Title 55 that I got in the raffle. Now the biggest problem is what tank to put it in.
on, everybody? This is Nathan Pate down here in North Carolina, crown royal of these cichlids. Just want to thank Ron a whole lot for this new python I won on Tuesday last week. And just want to let you know, you got some great food, some awesome fish, and you're just an awesome dude. I really appreciate you, Ron. Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Ryan.
All right, so sorry to cut that off a little short, but it's that time. So we've hit 100 people, and we are going to go ahead and leverage the software that's been working the last couple weeks, which is great, and start to give away some stuff. So the way we do this is that we go with hashtags. The hashtag that we're going to go with tonight, and basically you type it in the chat, is going to be hashtag Haps, Haps. You go ahead and type that in the chat right now. So it's hashtag Haps. So we're going to give some time here. This allows everybody to go ahead and type in hashtag Haps. And while you're doing that, we're going to do another spin to win afterwards. So go ahead and type in hashtag I want to spin. Those are the two hashtags we want. Hashtag Haps and hashtag I want to win, to spin. Excuse me, I want to spin. So type those two in. That's what we're going to pull from. We're still got time. It's hashtag Haps. So this gives us a time to talk a little bit about the rules. So basically, you can win once in the month. You have to be able to retrieve your prize within 7 days. We give you 7 days to claim it. We also, hey, if you like being us on the show and you like to win stuff, doing a testimonial for us really helps out. Giving a review on the show, giving a review on Ron Cichlids, those kinds of things. I want to spin, and Haps is what we're going with. All right, let's see Tommy Holmes on there. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down, but you probably have a little bit more time. We also do this as a fish of the week. I'm going to throw that in there real quick. Ron will tell you about this. This is a fish that Ron picks out every week.
The fish of the week this week is the albino Malawi eye biter, aka the Haplochromis compressus Haps. This is the albino version. I have quite a few of these guys right now. These guys are a predator. They are called Haplochromis compressus Haps. They get their name from that compressed body shape that they have. They ambush their prey in nature. They'll actually, I've had them in my aquarium, they'll actually sit all the way up, nose down, tail up, and they'll just spin around in a circle, basically getting those two eyeballs lined up with something that they're looking at, usually something that's in the rocks or sleeping.
Yeah.
These guys are open water fish, and in the home aquarium, you're going to kind of see them hang around mid to the top level. They don't really want anything to do with the rocks or plants or anything.
So these fish are now for the next 24 hours, and that's only 24 hours. It's they're 25% off using that code S14albino. So if you go on to Ron Cichlids, it's shop.roncichlids.com. You will be able to find the albino compressor sips. Is that how you say it, Ron?
Compressor seps.
Seps, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up our Woo Picker, and let's find out who is going to win a large fish. So this is how it works. When we hit 100, you get a large fish shipped out to you. You go on to Ron's site and you pick out the fish that you want, and it's a large size, which is, I believe, what,
3.5 to 4 inches.
3.5 to 4 inches. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see here. Always got to make these slight adjustments on things. So there's that. There's that slight adjustment. Here's the woo picker, everybody. And our woo picker is going to pull us off here. So let me go ahead and refresh these posts. Right there. Sign in. And go. Tuesday Fish Talk Live, all in the car. Oh, I never changed the name, so I apologize. I'll have that fixed up. So this is it. Yeah, this is it because that was the last one. There should be another one back here. Yeah, there's the other a la carte. So even though it has a different name, it is this episode. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Yeah, hey, it's live. It even shows that it's live. Look at that, Ron. The software is, look at how that's working. Yeah, this is an inside joke for everyone. We've had a lot of problems with the software, and but we're getting it to work now. So if I go pick winners, and I say pick a winner from this, and I have to pick one and clear one. You guys may have seen that before, so I pull this down here that you don't see it, so it doesn't freak people out. So I pick one, and then I'm going to clear that one. Because after I do that, then I can get hashtags. So unpick and unpick. Okay, so let me bring it back up so you can see it. Or maybe you did see it already. I don't know what I did there. All right. Okay, so here we go. And not that first double hat, that one right there. Hashtag Haps. Here's our winner for a free fish tonight. Cassie Anderson. Are you online right now watching this, Cassie Anderson? Congratulations, Ron. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I think Cassie is wife of, I think, Michael Anderson, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice. Well, congratulations, Cassie.
Congratulations, Cassie.
Yep. So what happens is I create a prize claim, and it shows up, and it just, you can check in through Facebook, and then we know it's you and all that good stuff. So I'll give you, we'll reach out to you for instructions on that. So the next one we are looking for is I want to spin. A lot of people misspelled that one. A lot of people misspelled I want to spin. So we are to spin, or excuse me, we're going to pick for someone to spin. So now we're picking that person, and here it comes. That's Kurt Buis. Kurt Buis. Are you online? Hopefully you are. We're going to go ahead and pull up our wheel. So here is the wheel. Boom. All right. And usually, so we've got a bunch of prizes on here. This is what's on the wheel right now. We've got a Marineland Penguin 350. This is 1,100 gallon per hour pump for those quick water changes. Just got to go through. We've got 4-inch Bacto sponges. We've got 250 grams of Seachem Safe on there. It's about 50,000 gallons of water. Some smaller sponges for 20-gallon tanks. Freshwater Master Test Kit. And this is a nice Aquanet power filter with a 2-part sponge chamber and all that stuff. So let's bring that wheel back up. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Give me a color, Ron, off of this wheel.
Red.
Red. So I'll grab the red. Now give me the number on the clock.
8.
Okay, so let me grab that. Bring that all the way around to 8. So good luck. Let's see what we got. So some of the prizes that are on here is we have ADA Tank Supply is giving away a Dragon Rock. That's on there. We've got Find Your Nemo. That's Kevin Mills. Great T-shirts. We really want to support Kevin on all of this. And there you go. Look at that, Ron.
Nice.
So you just won a T-shirt from Find Your Nemo. And that, like we said, that's Kevin Mills and all of that. I want to try to break off some time here before the end of the show to talk about Finding Nemo a little bit and pull that up. So we can do this again, huh, Ron?
Absolutely.
All right. So this time we are going to go in and remember we talked about reactions and likes and all that stuff.
Yep.
So we're going to go into a different post. We're going to go into last week's show, which is, let me put my eyes closer here. Let's see. Which is this one. And we're going to pull from just the likes of last week's show. So pick winners. And this is going to be off of reactions only. And we're going to pick another winner from that. And that is Celestino Concepcion. All right. So we'll have to verify that. That's a new name for me. We'll have to verify on the as a group member. Everybody needs to be a group member. If you're not a group member, just sign up and do that. So there's that. So that is for our next spin, which is going to be here. Nobody saw that come up. Let me go here. Hold on. Just give me a second. There we go. All right. On this one, give me a color, Ron.
Purple.
Okay. I need to see. I want to see Celestine Concepcion because the picture didn't show up, and usually when the picture doesn't show up, it could be spam. If you're Celestino Concepcion, I need to see you in the chat first. This just seems like due diligence here. Yeah. Celestino Concepcion.
This is from last week's show, right?
Yeah. So
it may not be on this week.
Oh yeah. Huh? How are we supposed to do that, Ron? We'll take care of Celestine Concepcion.
Don't do last week's show. Just do this week's show.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always working something out. So let's go ahead and go back. Hey, Celestine Concepcion, contact us. If you're listening to this show, contact us. We'll make it right with you one way or another.
We'll send you something.
Yeah, we'll make it right with you. But we do want to keep this engaging. So let's go ahead and pick a winner off of this one. You know what? I want to do it, Ron. I don't want to do it off of that. I want to reward somebody for what they did previous. So let me jump over to Ron Cichlids and let me refresh these posts.
Maybe you can pull from the post where everybody posted their picture.
That's not. Somehow or another, all of those credits on that page went away. It says 79 out of 100, so I can't do that. So let's go to let's just go back to this show. Hey, if you're listening, give it a like. Hurry up. Better give it a like. Okay, this is from users that gave this a like. Actually, anybody that commented on this show, just like that. Here it comes. Roger Esparza. Congratulations, Roger.
Congratulations, Roger.
Yeah.
Writing it down, making sure I got you guys wrote down.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so here we go, Roger. This is the last spin for the night, and like I said, there's fish on there. There's all these great prizes. I'm going to pick a color this time. I'm going to pick purple, and I'm going to pick number 6. So I'm putting that purple one right here at 6. Let's see if this is the mojo that it takes to to win a fish. That's what we're hoping for. We're hoping that you win a fish or one of the grand prizes. So here we go. Good luck, Roger. He won the 4 times double sponge from for 20-gallon tanks. Those that set of 4. So awesome! Congratulations, Roger.
Congratulations, Roger.
Yeah. All right. What else we got going on, Ron? Pretty much wrapping everything up here.
Gonna touch on, tank size and a little bit about the care and finish up with Haps.
What?
Finish up with Haps. I haven't finished yet.
What do you mean?
Well, I didn't
totally
talk.
Oh, no, we've kind of cruised through all that. We're wrapping up. That's what I'm asking about. Was there anything else? You're going to be in South Carolina. You're on Highway 95, right?
I'm gonna be going up in a few weeks. There's a couple more shows between now and then.
Yeah.
I'll be going up February 8th, I think.
All right, then. So it's been our pleasure to do the show for you tonight. Super awesome. Great job, Ron. All of that stuff. Apparently, we didn't get through all of your stuff. I was reading down the line.
No, we didn't get through it. So, yeah. Okay.
Well, it gives you a great chance to do a Facebook Live. Grab your phone and be like, hey, here's part 2 of that. It's just throw yourself out there and get her done, son. I'm so sorry. I was watching your stuff, but I'm also just trying to get through all this. So we're already at an hour and a half. So we want to appreciate everybody. We don't know what next week's topic is going to be. We'll probably go back and look at last week and try to see what you guys were interested in. Go ahead and throw out some topic ideas if you want.
I think for next week's show, I'm probably going to try to go ahead and do the emergency situation show. Things that you need to have on hand, procedures you need to have in place. So if and when you lose power or something drastic happens, how you resolve it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. There's like this huge conversation going on in the side chat. So it kind of that's
I'm not seeing the chats tonight. So
yeah. All right then. So thank you everybody. We'll see you next week at 8:00. And thank you for sharing this out and helping make this show awesome. You got the final word there, Ron.
Thanks, guys. Haps was a special topic for me. I love Haps, as you guys know. If you guys have any more questions on Haps, reach out to me. Just remember, these fish get big, so give them plenty of space. Love all of you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the support in the clubhouse. Thank you for everything you guys do for me, and the kind words. The kind words fuel me, to keep me doing what I'm doing. If it wasn't for you guys, I'd go find a regular job. So I appreciate every one of you guys. Love you guys. If you need anything, let me know.
Awesome. Of course, it does that every week. I'm not sure why it holds up on that. Take care, everyone.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to say I am proud of the time I spent in the United States Navy. This is a great country, made great by the men and women who serve and have served in the United States Armed Forces. From the sacrifices of our fathers and grandparents to those of you who are currently serving on active duty, it is my honor and pleasure to offer a special discount to our veterans. If you are active military or a veteran, please let me know so I can do my part and honor you for your service. You know, I love this country, and it's made great because of the men and women who have served in the armed forces. If you are a veteran and a business owner, check out veteranownedbusiness.com.